Hey friends, welcome to my channel, and I've got quite a few decks to unbox actually, and so I thought I'd just quickly go through them here, but I won't unbox them all on one video because that would be just way too much. I'm trying to count. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 decks. Oh my days, 8 decks. Okay. Hay House had a sale. That's my excuse. And so I bought 3 decks, and the total cost for these 3 decks was like just over £30. Like, yep, okay, doing that. So this one here, the Caroline Miss one, I had my eyes on this for a long time. It's been out a long time. Was it 2003 by the looks of things? So yeah, 20 years. Oh wow, 20 years. So I'm really looking forward to looking at this one. There's probably loads of walkthroughs of this one anyway, but I like to film my first impressions of the cards. So there's that one. And then I bought this Herbal Astrology Oracle. I don't know anything at all about herbal astrology, or even very much about herbs, to be fair. I know some about aromatherapy. I've studied aromatherapy many years ago, but herbs, no. And so what I thought with this one, because it's astrology, it might, just might, tie in with my deacon walk. It might add an extra layer to the deacon walk. So maybe, I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, there's that one. And then this Colette Baron Reid. I do like Colette Baron Reid oracle cards. So this one's a 44 card deck and guidebook, Dreamweaver's Oracles. So yeah, I've been having some very strange dreams lately. My dreams aren't, how can I put this? My dreams are like what I call real dreams. It's as if some, you know, like a real world dream, something that could actually happen in real life. Yeah, and then I wake up and think, did that actually happen? So yeah, there's that deck anyway. Also that one. I bought this little Marseille deck, tiny little deck here. For a good reason. Well, for 2 reasons actually. I want to actually study Marseille. I am really keen in studying it. I have bought a couple of Marseille decks and walked through them. So, but this one looks brilliant because of the guidebook. The guidebook looks amazing. Knocking the camera. But the other reason I bought it was this pouch here. Now, there's a lovely lady called Anne Ford, who's a member of Simon's group, the Hermit's Cave, and she has a shop and she makes really pretty pouches and tarot deck bags. A really talented lady. And so yeah, she made this especially for this Marseille tarot, so I had to buy the tarot. How could I not? And how could I not? When you look at it, it's gorgeous. So you can fit the little book in that side of the pouch there. So that's the guidebook, which is brilliant, by the by. And I will do a walkthrough of the deck, obviously not today, but I will. And yeah, the cards actually fit in to the pouch this side, which is really nice. There's the backs, gorgeous. Anyway, so yeah, that was another deck I bought. And to be fair, these weren't very expensive decks. What else did I buy? Okay, I bought this deck, another older deck, I think. Because of the ancestor work I am thinking of doing. I'll link a video to my thoughts on that below. Does this see when was this printed? Dr. Stephen Farmer. Looks nice, doesn't it? CCC 2021, so that's not a very old deck actually. So yeah. And what else did I buy? This one, Pamela Steele, Eternal Seeker Oracle. Because it looks gorgeous. Gather the parts of your soul Gather the parts of yourself and your soul that have been devastated, wounded and forgotten. and move forward into your eternal life. So that's quite a very high vibrational deck, I would think. Massive, massive guidebook. And here are the cards. Yeah, so that looks like the Fool, although it's an oracle. Oh, that's strange. We've got like a Fool figure with the little white dog. We've got a cat as well. Anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself because I will do a walkthrough. What else did I buy? I bought a very interesting looking deck here. The Tarot of Light and Shadow, John Matthews and Andre Aste. Now there's another deck by Andre Aste that I'm quite interested in, but I thought I'd buy this one first because it's reasonably priced, whereas that other one seems a little bit of a reach. And also it's the wonderful John Matthews. And so this is, it looks like a dark and light version of the same card. I'm not sure. But it says, for the first time ever, 2 decks have been designed to work together in a new multi-layered approach to the tarot. So there's a shadow deck and a light deck. So yeah, that's one I will be unboxing. And then finally, Ask the Witch, because this was about £16 from Amazon. And from what I can gather, it's all about witches in history and depicted in the tarot. So yeah, looking forward to that one as well. Witches throughout history, literature and mythology gather together in this fascinating tarot to bring you the magic and wisdom of sage crones, ancient fairies, nocturnal creatures and women of adventure and chaos. This intrepid coven, who represents global traditions from Circe to Joan of Arc to Baba Yaga and many more, welcomes the questions of beginners and advanced practitioners alike. This box set contains the Ask the Witch tarot deck and an accompanying 128-page full-colour hardcover book to decipher the witch's divinatory messages. So now I'm thinking, which one shall I open first? I will, like I said, I'm going to do separate videos for each one. I think I'm going to start off with this one. Yeah, I think I'll start with this Herbal Astrology one because I'm currently making notes and everything for the next decan, which is the 4 of Wands. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I'll put a playlist to my decan journey below and you can see what it's all about. So I'm going to have a little look at this one first. So it's a 55 card deck and guidebook. I wonder if this will open it. Alrighty. So as I said, this was part of my Hay House deck haul. 3 decks for just over £30, which I'm very, very pleased about. So this one is, let's have a little look at the back. You are the medicine. I mean, look at the normal price. That's such a bargain I got that for. And Hay House do have sales quite often, actually, so it's worth keeping an eye out. So it says, open an ancient portal to discover the powerful connection between the healing wisdom of plants and their astrological rulers with this unique 55 card oracle deck and guidebook. Each richly illustrated card depicts a sacred plant ally and its planetary correspondences, while the guidebook illuminates the traditional medicinal applications, ceremonial uses, spiritual messages, animal guides and symbolic meanings associated with these important herbs, trees, flowers and mushrooms. Now I have got the Magical Botanical, which I love that deck so much. But this one is, I've got this one because of the astrological component. If I can open it. It's not easy to open. Okay, so the colour's quite muted on there. It's it says Adriana, do it with the pointer. Adriana Ailis, I don't know. Artwork by Josephine Clerks. Oh, I am so bad with the pronunciation of names. I just have to apologise. So this image here really appealed to me on the box itself. It's the same on the front of the guidebook by the looks of things, because it's one of those ragged poppies, and I absolutely adore ragged poppies. I think they're amazing. I think they're also called Oriental poppies, but my mum always called them ragged poppies. And we've got like a sort of a Greek figure here. Oh, shall we just get into it? Stop waffling. Let's just get into it. Okay. So, alrighty. So it's sort of like a pinky colour on the bottom of the box. Hay House deck, like I said. We've got a paper band to hold the cards. Take that off. The guidebook. Let's have a look at the guidebook. We have introduction, working with cards, card spreads, and oh look. Oh, okay, planets. Planets, we have planets. Brilliant. So at the moment we're on Venus with the Empress in the Four of Wands. So yeah, herbs of Venus. So we start with the Sun, which was actually the last one, the Three of Wands. Anyway, yeah. So we start with the Sun, then the Moon, then Venus, Mercury, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto, asteroids, lunar nodes. Wow! So, although it's astrology, it's actually the planets. That's going to be so useful. Okay. Introduction. Hippocrates. Ritual objects. Poisonous and psychedelic plants. Okay. Working with the Oracle. Okay. Some spreads. Directional. Okay, so that's the astrological configurations. What does it say? Each plant is categorised under a main astrological ruler, which you'll find listed in the first guidebook entry, and represented by the large symbol to the left side of each card. To the left side of each card. Well, I can see a sun glyph up there. Left side of the card. Not seeing that. Okay, anyway. There are multifaceted aspects to each plant, however. Therefore, you'll often find one or two other planetary references that are also key aspects due to its medicinal qualities, doctrines of signatures, and more. Okay, so medicine wheel. Directional spread there. Present moment spread. A relationship spread. The moon spread. Herbs of the sun. So we're straight into the card meanings here. So we have an upright meaning, a reversed meaning, and the astrological ruler. So yes, that's the sun. Oh, we've got an ambulance or a fire engine. No, gone. Okay. A little bit of the history of it, how it's used, and then the guidance of the Oracle, and then on to the next one. Okay, so we'll do that for each one. Palo Santo, I use that to cleanse my cards with. Acknowledgements about the author. They're a rainforest herbalist, medicine maker, mother educator, and owner of Anima Mundi Herbals, born and raised in Costa Rica. And the artist, mother and folk herbalist based in the Swedish woods. Interesting. Okay, and that's the end of the book. So there are, let's see how many pages. 165. Alrighty. So just enough information you need there, I think. So yeah, that's cool. It's going to work alongside the planets. I was actually expecting it to work along the 12 zodiacal signs. That's what I was expecting, but no, it's... Hi again, friends, and I have lost my footage. I don't know how it's happened. I filmed a whole walkthrough. I uploaded it, edited it, and lost it. I just don't know where it is. I think maybe because I was going to work and I was in a rush, but somehow I've lost it. So I'm going to go through it again, which is no great trouble to me because it's beautiful. It is absolutely beautiful. And I think in that video as well, I was talking about the other herbal deck I've got, which is this one, the Magical Botanical. And I was wondering how the two would compare, which one I would prefer really. And I love the artwork, and this is such a special deck to me. So this one had a lot to live up to, and spoiler alert, it's beautiful and I love it. And I think both of these are going to be useful for my Deacon walk. And at the moment we're on the 5 of Pentacles. So for the astrological correspondences, both of them give astrological correspondences to the planets. So I was just, before I started videoing this for the second time, looking at Dandelion. I thought, let's just have a little look and see if they agree. In the Magical Botanical Oracle here, Dandelion is aligned with Jupiter and the Sun, with the fire and earth elements. And there's a little bit here about anger, poison, toxicity, and learning to release that. And then if we look in the Herbal Astrology one, then we have Chiron and Jupiter. So they pretty much do align. It's also known as the Wounded Healer. So I think, yes, the two will align actually, and I'll be able to see deeper knowledge by using both of these decks. So I don't regret buying another herbal deck at all. So without any further ado, I'm going to do another walkthrough of it. If you're interested in the Magical Botanical Oracle, I've actually already did do a walkthrough of that a while ago, so I'll post a link to that below and you can check that one out. But it's gorgeous. Anyway, let's go through and have a look at this one. So I apologise in advance for the light because the sun is going in and out, and I think it's actually going to pour down with rain pretty soon. Never mind, we'll carry on as we always do. So the first card is Calendula, and this is a sign to purity and associated with the sun, because we've got the sun sign up here. And we've got a naked child, so pure of heart, untainted. We've got the swing. Oh, it's a lovely tree house. But there are mountains in the distance there, so there's going to be some hurdles to climb at some point. Beautiful. Then we have St. John's Wort and Radiance, and again this is the sun. And here's one of the hurdles, because this little house here is on fire. So maybe that's just too much sun. The dangers of too much sun, too much heat, too much fire. And here we've got nature, cyclical idea of nature, I think. Looks like it to me anyway. Plants, animals, spirits, birds. Okay. So now this one's assigned to 2 planets. So we've got the sun, but we've also got Mercury. And we've also got the sign here for Mercury. And this is rosemary and ancient memory. So we have a diamond. The rosemary's on the bottom of the card. I love rosemary. Got a crone figure there, and there's some figures in the distance there as well, which I thought was really interesting, and the energy coming from the forehead there, from the third eye. So there's lots to look at in these cards. There's a lot of imagery to study or notice. So Rue is protection. There's even a lemniscate here for above the lion. So this is Sun and Pluto. And some angels. Card 5, Blue Lotus, Initiation. And we have the Sun and the Moon. And Intuition. So we've got the polarization there. The Cup. Chalice. Sage. So now we're on to the Moon cards. So this is the Moon and Jupiter. I think I'm going to actually just zoom in a bit more. There we go. So yeah, Sage. And this is for blessing. We can actually see them. All this energy here, all this pure energy coming from this figure. Spirals and, oh, beautiful. Metamorphosis. Now, some of these names I really don't know how to pronounce, and so I'm not going to even try. But I found this one so interesting. We've got a sort of a mask here. We've got a womb that's bleeding. We've got what looks like death. So it sort of looks like the cycles of life, really. And this most obviously is a goddess. The guidebook doesn't say which goddess it is, it just says the dark goddess. So that's Moon and Pluto. And this one is Trust, Moon and Neptune. So we've got some DNA strands. There's a lot going on in this card. I'm going to bring it a bit closer. Yeah, so it looks like DNA strands. We've got crone energy. We've got time, I think. Is it o'clock? Yes, we've got time dripping away. And the figure is actually holding a beautiful light. There's a whale there. There's a Merkaba. There's sacred geometry as well. We've got, let's see if it will focus. There we go. So there's a portal there. And I think I saw another one as well. There. Looks like a path through somewhere. Stunning. Okay, for number 9 we have Chamomile and Inner Peace. Focus again. Yeah, Chamomile and Inner Peace for number 9. And this is the Moon and the Sun. So we're back to the Sun again. Nice sleeping figure there. Being watched over. Mugwort, Psychic Healing. So again, crone energy and wise energy, because we have a wise owl there. So that's nice. And we've got the phases of the moon. We have a goddess figure here. We have a mirror. Like I say, there's so many elements to these cards that you can really go deep. And this is Moon and Neptune. Okay, so now the next 5 cards are Venus. And what a fitting image for Venus, the beloved. The last Deacon video I did was on the Emperor and the Empress in the Four of Wands, and I think this card actually also encapsulates that energy of the, you know, this is clearly the Emperor in red and the Empress in green, Venus and Mars, totally. And it's a blessed union. So that's Venus and Pluto, but to me it's Venus and Mars. I will read the guidebook later and see why it's assigned to Pluto. So for 12 we have Venus and the Moon and love. 2 hands entwined, a heart with an arrow through it, a dove of peace. I think the dove is assigned to Venus as well. Motherwort here. Oh, now this is clearly the Empress. You cannot tell me that is not the Empress. And it is Venus, so yeah. Again, we've got that uterus, water, and water. People climbing up. We have crystals in the background and the strength of a lion. And then the heart opening. Stunning. Stunning imagery. Really thought out. Hibiscus for joy. And this is Venus and Pluto. Beautiful bird there. The last in the Venus cards is Yarrow and Harmony. So we've got, I think, a crane, balancing some scales with a very, very long neck. We've got an I Ching hexagram there, or the one part of it, which is fire. We've got droplets coming down here, so is that fire and water? So the harmony between those elements, maybe. And some clouds here, and fire and water makes steam, so maybe, possibly that's that reference. Don't know. Maybe. Okay, card 16 is journey, and now we've gone on to Mercury. So here we have Mercury and Uranus, and a cauldron, and an all-seeing eye. Card 17, higher consciousness, and this is Mercury and the moon. And we have someone meditating, and even seems to have levitated. So such an ascended master, maybe. And this here sort of looks like brain cells, and that looks like sound waves or frequencies of some sort. So lion's mane for 18, and of course there's a lion. We have some scales, some water, and it's leadership. This is Mercury and Uranus. Now for Mercury and Jupiter we've got wealth. Lovely peacock. And then for card 20 and Mercury we have a weaver. So we've got someone playing a musical instrument, possibly is it a lyre? L-Y-R-E maybe? You have a baby on the back, being blessed. And some sweet heavenly music on a violin. Spider's web. Isn't that gorgeous? Lavender. So the next set of cards is Mars, and here we have Mars and Pluto. Now Mars I associate with the Emperor at the moment, harking back to the Deacon Walk. And I can see a lot of Mars energy here because we've got the red planet itself. We've got structure here with the crystals, and the key word is action, so that really aligns for me. Here we have transfiguration. So a lot of Tower energy, obviously, and also the Mars energy again. And this is Mars and Pluto again. So clearly, if you put Mars and Pluto together, you're going to get some very fierce energy. And now we've got Mars and the Moon, which is a different sort of energy, isn't it? So a more gentle one for the peaceful warrior. So we've still got the warrior of Mars, but the peace of the moon. So it works brilliant, doesn't it? And we've got some milk drops coming from the flower. Tobacco offering. So again, it seems quite a gentle energy. And this is Mars and Pluto again. So a different aspect to that configuration. Cat's claw for purification, and again it's Mars and Pluto, so that's interesting. And it's a very wild cat, very strong cat there, maybe a panther. So now for the next 5 cards are Jupiter. So this has got actually 3 planets aligned here. So we've got Jupiter with Pluto and Mars. So that Mars-Pluto energy yet again, but now with Jupiter influence. And here we've got an eagle, I think, rising up. And we've got some more DNA and mountains. And it's called Revival. Card 27, Jupiter and the Sun. Reishi? Retreat. And we've got a bear. Bear does go into the cave in the winter, doesn't it? Elder and wisdom. So now we have Jupiter and Pluto. So the Mars influence has totally gone now in the Jupiter cards. Grace. So this is Jupiter and Venus. Comfrey is completion. And Saturn. So Saturn's assigned to the devil, isn't it, in the tarot, and the star and the world. So there's the world card. There's the wreath from the world card. There's Capricorn. So it sort of makes sense, doesn't it? Capricorn for the devil. That's well thought out. Okay, Arnica, Saturn. This has an associated memory for me, Arnica. Arnica is brilliant for bruises. It brings out bruises. But the reason that I can associate with this card is because my grandparents, I've said this in previous videos actually, I've told this story, but my grandparents used to have a dairy farm in Wales, in a little place called Portmaddock. Tiny place, it's Portmaddock. It's just before Port Miriam, where they filmed the Prisoner TV series. Anyway, it was right on the edge of Snowdonia, so there would be a 5-bar gate, a small windy bendy road, so really, you know, not very wide at all, that road, and then Snowdonia. And if you looked here, this was where, at the bottom here, this would be where their home was. And they had a little gate like that, and it sort of partitioned the farm from the dwelling. And as children, we'd sit and shell broad beans. I hate broad beans. And we'd shell peas, yeah. Told to stay outside, you're not allowed indoors. So yeah, that's sort of an association I can see there. And the power of grandmother. Oh, gosh. Yes. Okay, so shape shifting here for card 34. And this is Saturn and Neptune. There's a definite transition going on here. And horsetail is patience. And we have a horse. And this is Saturn and Venus. Venus, flowy energy there. Okay, so now we're on to Uranus. And this is Uranus with Venus. So I see Venus here. Strength in the cat, which I think is a leopard. And we have a sword being, is it being taken out of the ground or being put in? I'm not sure. It actually has roots. It's almost as if this coca plant has rooted the sword into the ground, and maybe Venus is lifting it out in preparation for what is coming. Nice rainbow. I've no idea if what I'm saying is right, because I've looked at the guidebook entries. I'm just going from the imagery. Oh look, we've got a unicorn. And what feels like an Eastern motif here. And this is Uranus and Mercury. So card 38, Uranus and Venus. And I always put cacao in my morning shake. And indeed, there's a cacao ceremony there. That reminds me of Robert Place's tarots. Yeah, very much so. Loving bird. Card 39, Ginkgo, breakthrough. So we're breaking through here, definitely. And this is Mars and Uranus. got that red energy again. Ginseng. And this is Uranus and Jupiter. Just making sure it's in frame. We've got a very Wheel of Fortune energy there, look. With the Magician. Looks like Gandalf. Really, so many roots on these plants here. So that's Uranus and Jupiter. So now we're on to Neptune. And there is Neptune, one would imagine. Looking down. And we start with Neptune and Saturn for the poppy and the dream. There's milk of the poppy. Sail away on the tide. Card 42, Conduits. And we've got 3 planets here. So we have Neptune, Pluto and Mercury. It's very twee, isn't it? Passion Flower and Surrender for Neptune and the Moon. I'm sure my mum used to call those tobacco plants. I remember them smelling absolutely gorgeous. I've got some owls there. I think you could really journey with these cards and get lost in them in meditation. They're absolutely gorgeous. So this is Neptune. Neptune is can be assigned to the Hangman in the tarot. And this one is hanging in the ether there. Acceptance. And I suppose that's a good keyword actually for the Hanged one, isn't it? Acceptance. Yes, I think so. Mandrake. I can't think of Mandrake without thinking about the Magical Botanical Oracle because it's just such a beautiful image. And it's on the front of the box there. I love that image. Really do. But here we've got Mandrake again. And this is Sensuality. I wonder what it says in this one for Mandrake. Let's see. It does align. They don't give keywords in the Magical Botanical Oracle, but it talks about it being used for fertility, lust, love, magic. So sensuality really does align, doesn't it? I like the way these 2 decks are actually agreeing with each other. That helps. Anyway, 45 is Neptune and Venus and sensuality. Okay, so now we're on to Pluto. So here we have Pluto and Mars. And death. Oh. Yes. That makes sense. Pluto and Saturn for stillness. So stillness coming from inside the mind or giving stillness to the mind. An hourglass. Oh, such a lot to look at these cards, I just get lost. Okay, community for Pluto and the Moon. And we're having song and dance there, which is lovely. Oh, that's quite like that other card, isn't it? Where does this find it? Those 2 are quite similar. And side by side. Very similar. And this one is commune, whereas this one's community. So that's interesting as well. So is it a commune? So it's Pluto and the Sun. And then we have 3 planets for rebirth. Gosh, there's a lot to look at in this card. So this is Pluto, Jupiter and Neptune. So what have we got? We've got a child in the womb, maybe, in the Earth's womb. We have a crone energy with that 3rd eye and all those frequencies coming from it. And then we've got a spiral of DNA, snake, Wow. Amazing. Okay, so now we're on to the asteroid. So there's 3 cards in this section. And we start with Dragon's Blood. So Anima Mundi for Dragon's Blood. And this is Blue Moon and Lilith. For Lemon Balm, oh, I used to have a lemon balm plant. What's it called? Oh, it's really nice. So this is Ceres or Ceres, I'm not sure how that's pronounced, Ceres, and Jupiter. Is that a goddess? This is for nurture. We have a bee there as well. And then Chiron and Jupiter. And we've got some more sacred geometry here for the dandelion and the wounded healer. Well, and we have a centaur. There's a lot in that one. Wounded healer. Now we're on to the lunar nodes. So we have the north node, and this is the moon for purpose. We've got all the chakras down the side of the card there. And then lastly, Palo Santo. There we go, Palo Santo. And this is the Guardian, and this is the South Node and Pluto. So those are the cards. There's an actual being in the smoke there. Beautiful. They're a lovely card finish. Really, really nice. They're not glossy, but they're nice and smooth. They're not matte. Got a nice spring to them. They're quite large. Put them against that. Hold on, just get a card from the Magic of Botanica. A lot different in size, as you can see. They're larger, more an oracle size, whereas this is more of a tarot size card. Yeah. So yeah, a lot larger if that's something that is important. For smaller hands, there's no edging to it. And these are the backs. So they're reversible, yeah. I was just checking, but yes, they are. They're reversible. So let's look at a card, shall we? Shall we look at the nettle? There's a lot of nettles around at the moment. In fact, there's a lot of plants and weeds and things growing at the moment. Nature has just gone whoosh, as nature tends to do in the spring. So let's have a look at nettle. And this tells you the upright meaning and the reverse meaning, and then the astrological rulers. So it's direct action, fierce protector. Well, it would be for a nettle, wouldn't it? Fierce protector. Leadership, strength, power in pursuit of truth, and dominance. And yes, nettles dominate. They do dominate very much so, because they are like a weed. So it perfectly embodies Mars' attributes. When touched, its aggressive leaves cause irritation, stimulation, and increased blood circulation. Nettle is rich in iron, selenium, magnesium, chlorophyll, calcium, silica, and vitamins A, C, E, and K. I remember actually me and my sister collecting nettles. We had rubber gloves on, and we still were being stung, even through the rubber gloves. And the reason we were collecting it was as a hair tonic. And yeah, you steep it. It's really good for your hair, actually. Anyway, going back to the book. While nettle is not necessarily a heating plant, I think that means healing plant. It is stimulating, or maybe it does mean heating. Its sting feels hot at the touch, and yet it helps to modulate inflammation throughout the body. Used to treat pain from arthritis in ancient Egypt, people would whack themselves with bundles of nettles. Oh my days! To treat rheumatism, lethargy. Yeah, well, it's going to wake you up, isn't it? And cholera. It's thought that nettles cause the body to release an antihistamine response that reduces inflammation and swelling, alleviating pain related to rheumatism and arthritis. The famous ancient Greek physician Hippocrates used nettles in over 60 different remedies. Throughout the Middle Ages, nettles were used to treat shingles, sinus ailments, and constipation. In Norse myth, nettles are associated with Thor, the god of thunder, and with Loki, the trickster god, whose magical fishing net was made from nettles. Thick strands of nettles signal that there are fairy dwellings close by in Celtic folklore, and the nettle sting wards off fairy mischief, black magic, and sorcery. The Anglo-Saxon held 9 herbs as the most sacred, and their 9 herbs charm, recorded in the 10th century, featured nettles as a protective ally against elf shot, a mysterious pain in humans or animals caused by the arrows of the jealous elves. Nettle also protected against flying venom, a form of black magic believed at the time to be one of the primary causes of illness. And then we have some guidance. So Warrior Mars is a representation of our will to survive, protect, pursue and act. Physically, the element fire within nettle activates to purify and strengthen. Emotionally and mentally, it directs ambition, sharpens intellect and ignites leadership. On a spiritual level, nettle has the power of snake medicine, granting us the power of fire to transmute and protect. Nettle medicine teaches you on a personal level to be strong, protective, and able to handle life in its complexity. You meet difficulties with patience and confidence. This allows for emotional maturity and avoids frustration. Don't withdraw your energy in the face of discomfort. If you have drawn this card today, there is a need within you to transmute some action, thought, or desire. Release the outer skin of your present identity and draw upon the powers of fire to lead and act. So that's nettle and action, and a very Mars energy for sure. Well, as I said, I'm going to use both decks for my deacon work, and the artwork is very, very different, but both are very, very appealing, and I love the way this one has got the Kabbalistic Tree of Life on a card. I mean, who could get better than that? I'd say if you want a full walkthrough of this, I have done one. And yeah, you can see me oohing and ahhing over this deck because I am in love with the imagery. Absolutely in love with that imagery. And as I said, I think the two guidebooks seem to confer with one another onto the attributes of the herbs. So I hope you enjoyed that. My second attempt at doing this walkthrough. Hopefully I won't lose this one. And thank you so much for watching, and until the next time, take care. Bye.